What's going on, my fellow A-Plusers? Welcome back once again to a brand new episode. It is I, your Morphinominal host, Adam Perez, coming through once again for you guys, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Toku Tuesday. I certainly hope everybody has begun their week off right. Hopefully things are going really swell for you guys over there. Hopefully everybody also had the opportunity to check out their Kiramager episode this week, as we did get ourselves a brand new episode. So we're here to go ahead and break that down for you guys. As always, episode number 39, as we inch ever so closely to the finale of Kiramager, a season that I definitely do not want to see end. As excited as I am for Zenkaiger, I've been really just pleased with this season just overall, to be perfectly honest with you. And so you know, it feels as though all the good things in our life kind of get taken away from us super quickly, or we just tend to breeze through them because we're enjoying them so incredibly much. And that's what I feel like when it comes to Kiramager. I feel like this season just flew past, like I blinked and it was just, it's almost gone here. You know, I don't know if I would feel that way if the pandemic didn't hit, right? Like if we had gotten more than 45 episodes, maybe I wouldn't feel that way, but I'm pretty sure we are ending on 45 if I'm not mistaken, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed that I'm wrong. But if we are coming to 45 episodes, man, we're almost there. We're almost there. There are elements of these episodes as we're getting closer that it does feel like it's ramping up to something bigger, right? It does feel as though the main bad guy has finally sort of revealed itself. Some of the grander scheme, the grand plans are kind of coming together. You feel the Kiramager sort of being pushed a little bit harder, finding it a little bit more difficult to overcome their enemies each and every time. I feel like as we transpired through this season, and this episode certainly is no different here. But what it is fascinating is the fact that we are kind of seeing Emperor Yodan, I guess you can say, maybe getting his hands dirty. Like, even though it's not himself, it's the people that he can change into that are kind of getting their hands dirty. So does it work the kind of same way? I have really no idea, but we'll definitely go ahead and explore the multiple sides of Emperor Yodan as we continue to learn more about him as we get into these later episodes. So guys, let's go ahead and get into our episode review for Kiramager. Again, episode number 39. If you haven't had the opportunity to check it out, please go ahead and do yourselves a favor. We should also have a Gokaiger reaction video for you guys later today. And if the Saber episode dropped this week, then maybe Stuart will have his Kamen Rider Saber episode ready for you guys also. So definitely look out for that this week as well. So guys, a couple things that wind up really jumping out at me here for this episode that I truly enjoyed. We get to see here that the idea that Princess Mabusheena is kind of celebrating her coming of age celebration, you will, or like birth date, or whatever the case may be when it comes to her. Even though Mabusheena says she's an adult, you've got somebody like Takemichi who tries to clarify, like, oh, she's not quite an adult yet, but she's almost there. I don't know if that was just Takemichi just sort of being that overprotective big brother and kind of always looking at his little sister as like the baby sister of the group, right? Like babying her a little bit more than she certainly needs to. So I don't really know how old Mabusheena is, considering the fact that she seems like she was celebrating the idea of her adulthood almost, or almost getting there. I'm wondering if she's like 16, 17, maybe just turned 18. I'm not quite sure the age range. But we do see that she certainly has something to celebrate here in this episode. And one of the things, in a way for her to celebrate, it seems as though Tomitomo and Takemichi take her out jewelry shopping. Clearly Takemichi's got that big money, you know what I'm saying? That black or gold card that he just hands over, like, look, give me that employee discount, or give me that company discount, you know what I'm saying? And able to go ahead and just buy his little sister jewelry and things like that. So yeah, you know, Takemichi's flaunting out here. He's flaunting in this episode. But I also love the fact that you have Tomitomo going along with them and really getting the opportunity to see another ability of Mabusheena's that eventually by the end of this episode comes into play once again, that she has the ability to shine also. And not only does she shine, but the other crystals and jewels and gems that are around her get that opportunity to shine a little bit more. Like, just because of what Mabusheena did to the jewelry in the store, a part of me was thinking to myself, like, I wonder if all the jewelry just went up in value. I wonder if like the guy that owns this jewelry store is like just about to make a ton more money with just the quality of these jewels that he certainly now has, since they're even more shiny thanks to Mabusheena. But I love the fact that that plays a role later on in the episode, where we see Mabusheena really helping the Kiramagers out in defeating the enemy by blinding him, not only with her abilities, but using her shine to also increase the shine of the gemstone. So I thought it was great how it kind of all came full circle for Mabusheena here this week. So I thought that was pretty neat. But really the man of the hour that we have to talk about in here is Emperor Yodan. I mean, this guy continues to surprise me left and right. I want to say that there was somebody in our live chat for either a Kiramager review or either an APlus Morphinominal like live show on Saturday. I swear I felt like somebody pointed out to me that Emperor Yodan had two faces, right? Like, we're so used to seeing Yodana now transform into Emperor Yodan that I never really paid attention that when she transforms, that face kind of opens up a little bit to reveal Emperor Yodan sort of underneath. But somebody did point out to me, like, Adam, there's a second head there, and I didn't really think too much of it, but we clearly get to see that it comes into play here. He has a second identity, an alter, another alter ego, if you will, that's not quite Yodana, but this time he calls himself Shadon. Shadon. Think of like shadow, but with an N at the end. So Shadon is what we wind up getting in here, as we come to find out that he's pretty much sort of like this elite hunter, if you will. Now that and he winds up having sort of the Kiramagers in his sight. I think even Karantula mentions the idea that you don't really see Shadon kind of very often in the world, but people clearly know of him, sort of thing. So it seems as though Emperor Yodan really just kind of sends this guy out to maybe take care of sort of the heavy hitters, right? Like the people that are really getting under Emperor Yodan's nerves or really seemingly kind of causing a threat. His two big enforcers tend to be Yodana herself and Shadon, who we get to see highlighted here also. So there was first off, I love the character design. This definitely was certainly a character design vastly different than any of the other Marsks or Marsk beasts that we have certainly seen. I loved his little camo hoodie that he wind up having, or his green hoodie. It kind of gave me like camouflage vibes, if you will. Homeboy even had like a sniper. I mean, this guy was like bounty hunter galore, like snipers, sharpshooter type of thing. And I absolutely loved it. And the fact that he was hunting down the Kiramagers, for some reason I was getting like Punisher vibes all episode long from this guy. And it wasn't like he was out there just trying to shoot them. Like, no, like he literally came up with a plan to use Mabusheena sort of as the decoy, right? Like just clearly missing shots on purpose to kind of give the Kiramagers and their attention, letting them know that somebody has their sights set on them. But when we see the Kiramagers trying to come out to protect Mabusheena, we clearly see they're kind of falling right into Shadon's hands, as that's really his plan overall. Draw out the Kiramagers to protect Mabusheena, because those are the people that he certainly wants to. And clearly each shot winds up neutralizing our Kiramagers, turning them all into kind of mud balls, if you will. I mean, you want to talk about just raising the stakes. There was definitely a level of intensity in here. I almost felt like not only did it feel like an action drama, but there were almost elements of, like, I don't want to even say horror, but just knowing that there was somebody lurking, right, and creeping around, trying to shoot you like either from a distance or from around a shadowy corner type thing. I at first I was thinking to myself, is this going to turn into like a Call of Duty episode where we've got one sharpshooter and then we see Tommy Tomo taking the lead, and because he's got like esports experience, I thought maybe he would then become a sniper and they would both try and fight each other on rooftops and stuff. That's really where I thought that this was certainly going. But I love the idea of us having a monster who's a sniper, who is clearly an elite hunter trying to pick off his prey, if you will. I definitely got Craven the Hunter vibes in here also. Punisher vibes. I just really love the way that they executed this Kiramager episode, to be perfectly honest with you. One of the things also that kind of jumped out at me in this episode was Tommy Tomo. And this isn't the first time that we've talked highly of Tomitomo, and it's not the first time that they've highlighted him in such a fantastic way. But when I look at Tomitomo, talk about just a sort of a great second in command, right? Somebody that you can count on when you're not, like when you're Juru. If you're not a part of the team, somebody else that you know is going to be smart enough to come up with great plans and have people go into their particular positions or do their particular job to make sure that everything sort of runs as a well-tuned machine, right? So this plan that Tomitomo came up with to use himself as sort of like a distraction, right? Let Shadone think that he wind up getting Tomitomo and then having the rest of the team kind of eventually distract him, use Mabusheena's shine, and then come out and confront Shadone at the end. I thought was an absolutely brilliant move on Tomitomo's part, and continues to show me that he's not just, I think it's Blossom, or Blossom used to say this all the time, aka Laurel. She used to say how much Tomitomo was like a dingus, right? And I know since it's been a while since she said that, because she has kind of gone back on the dingus stuff when it comes to Tomitomo. In other words, saying he's like a ditz, right? He's the dunce of the group, the idiot of the group. He's really showing himself to be a fantastic leader and really a ton, like the brains of this operation from time to time. So I can see why Tomitomo would have such pushback in the very early of the season, trying to make himself the leader, or at least questioning Juro, because this guy clearly has the attributes to be the Kiramager leader if he certainly wanted to. Because I've almost lost track of how many times Tomitomo has come up with a brilliant plan to go ahead and take down one of the enemies, or come up, or kind of help the team out, if you will. So again, every Kiramager certainly carries their own weight and certainly brings their own attributes to the team. But once again, we get Tomitomo to showcase to us just exactly what he's very proficient in. Not only is he a sharpshooter, but he's also great when it comes to making sure that the team is kind of working together. So yeah, I really do think that he when he pulls through for the team, always brings a great balance to them, along with being able to assist Juro in that way. So I'm really glad that it kind of worked out for our team at the end of the day. Another quick honorable mention in here, I thought the Zord battles were actually pretty great this week. Some of the camera angles that we wind up having, seeing the gemstones kind of really struggling against that clam beast that was kind of either cracking their gemstones or breaking them apart and things like that. It really wasn't until King Oridon came in with the help of Juro that they actually started kind of having some sort of pushback, if you will. So Emperor Yodan and Shadone definitely came to play this week and kind of throw down and really put our Kiramagers in a very tough, very tough predicament, if you will. So I'm glad to see that they kind of overcame them. And again, Emperor Yodan is really pushing our Kiramagers to their limits, and I'm having a fantastic time watching it. And he gets the opportunity to even reveal himself once again to our Kiramagers at the end of this episode. When you think that they've destroyed Shadone, you get to see Emperor Yodan appearing once again, and this time his second face is just utterly destroyed, and I absolutely love the look of it. And speaking of the look of it, I've become a really big fan of Emperor Yodan's appearances. Just the special effects and the use of when he does wind up changing from Yodana. Like, he clearly grows into this monster, and it feels as though it's like a bunch of mud, like a tsunami of mud, or dark energy that just kind of floods over this guy to kind of reveal Emperor Yodan in all his glory. And I just think it's a really cool sort of henshin of his own, or cool little transition that they wind up doing with the special effects to showcase the arrival of Emperor Yodan. I think it's pretty brilliant. Like, a part of me almost wants to see Tarantula and Garza just covered in this dark energy that winds up just falling off of Emperor Yodan every time he winds up transforming. But look, with 5 or 6 episodes left of this season, we'll see what they definitely have in store for us when it comes to Kiramager. But another fantastic episode here, to be perfectly honest with you. And again, Mabusheena, I know we definitely have a couple of Mabusheena fans that join us for our reviews. But again, getting an opportunity to see why she's an important part of this team. Even the team kind of showcasing to her, like, hey, we love your smile, we love your laugh. It actually makes us smile. Constantly kind of giving her that reaffirming empowerment type of thing, that she's certainly capable of doing a lot more than she believes in herself in being able to do. So I love the fact that they are certainly there to really stand up for their friend and really showcase that friendship really kind of overcomes anything. So I really dug that message that we wind up getting this week. Let's see here. Let me jump to the not honorable mentions, to the live viewer questions. I believe L'Oreal came through with some questions here. Let's see what she says. She says, wasn't that creepy when the Emperor came out of another one of his underlings? Oh, I'm assuming talking about Yodan changing into Yodon. Yeah, nothing surprises me at this particular point in time, but I am thrilled that we actually got to see the other face kind of utilized in here, and I'm assuming Yodana's was still intact at the end of the episode, so it definitely seems as though Yodon, unfortunately, is out of the picture. But crazy ability for Emperor Yodan to even have. You also say what Tommy Tomo did to fool that monster was awesome. Am I right? Absolutely, L'Oreal. Again, that goes back to the idea of Tommy Tomo being a great sort of second in command. Like, I can see why he pushed back against Juro being the leader very early on in the season, considering what he's clearly capable of doing. But I mean, goodness, we've seen exactly what Juro is capable of and why he's definitely the leader of this team. What was your best part of the episode to you? To me, the Emperor turning into Yodon was pretty cool, and honestly, I really love seeing the Emperor, getting to see the Kiramager struggling to try and protect Mabusheena. Like, there was something really cool about randomly seeing just that beady little red line of that sniper scope on somebody's back. Like, when you notice it, you're like, and then you just try and figure out, are they gonna get shot? Are they gonna survive? Like, and then just seeing people like literally jump in front of each other in order to sacrifice themselves for one another. I mean, talk about just doing the ultimate to protect your friends, right? So I thought those were some really cool sequences that we wind up getting in here. Perfectly honest with you. So great questions. I'll just do a couple of your comments here, L'Oreal. I won't do too many. He says it was cool to hear Mabusheena's beautiful giggling noise when she laughs again, and that's funny that you bring that up, because even Cena, I think, references that at the end, saying, you know, even your laughter kind of puts smiles on her face to kind of help reestablish Mabusheena that, listen, I don't know why you got this idea in your head that you're the weakest link, or you think that you're like a hamper to this team. If anything, you help us continue to push forward. You know what I mean? So I thought that was pretty cool. In the credits, when Chauvello was praising his partner, Tommy Tomo, I couldn't believe they mentioned Tommy Tomo dealing with the crush on the enemy incident. I still feel bad for him. Yes, first off, I'm glad you brought that up, because I want to say I put that in my notes also, because at the end of the episode, when you guys get to the mid-credit scene, Chauvello is kind of talking highly about Tommy Tomo, and I remember Tommy Tomo looks at the screen and he says, "There's nothing I can't hit except for a girl's heart." And then he starts crying, and Chauvello's like, poor Tommy Tomo. Like, so yeah, the fact that just continue to make fun of him, the fact that he still can't get a girl at the end of the day, that he's great at everything else, but he just can't get the girl at the end, is a little bit of a low blow there, man. Low blow there. And so who knows, man, maybe Tommy Tomo, you know, one of the things I've been asking for is, can Yodana survive this season, right? Can she give some pushback to Emperor Yodan and realize, like, hey, bro, you've been using me, right? Without my permission, I got to kind of break free. It would be great if this season sort of ends with Tommy Tomo and Yodana actually making things work. Him actually getting the girl at the end, I think, would be absolutely great, because he's been crushing on Yodana ever since he met her. Probably not so much anymore, because she's a crazy bitch, as we all clearly know. But I'm kind of hoping that for 5-6 episodes left, maybe we get some sort of redemption story for her. I'm actually not counting on it any longer, considering that how we saw the death of Yodon, right? Like, if you die, you're technically just a part of Emperor Yodan. So I just don't see a way of Yodana surviving, if that makes sense, right? Clearly, they would have to destroy her to maybe make Emperor Yodan weak. Maybe if they destroyed Yodan, maybe that probably kills Yodana too. I really don't know, but a part of me now wants to see Tomitomo get the girl just based off of that mid-credit scene that we wind up seeing. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, guys. Do you guys think Yodana will have a redemption story, or do you think we're too far into the season? I'm definitely kind of curious to know what you guys think. But other than that, guys, I think that's going to go ahead and actually do it for us here. So thank you very much, L'Oreal, for your questions and your comments. And guys, feel free, if you have any questions, if you've happened to watch the episode before we do our review, go ahead and submit your questions in at any particular point in time, and we'll definitely go ahead and focus on your Kiramager ones at the end of our Kiramager reviews. So other than that, guys, I think that's going to do it for us. So do me a big favor, guys. Listen, if you love our content, if you love this channel, do us a favor. Hit that subscribe button, guys, along with that bell notification, and of course, that big thumbs up. Give us that big like button so YouTube can recognize our work and certainly recommend it to other people. But if you want to go ahead and follow us on social media, you can do the same thing. We're right here at APlus Opinions. We're very active on our main page, which is our Facebook. That's our hub. We're also very active over on Twitter if you want to check us out there, and also find us on Instagram as well as Twitch for you gamers. But other than that, guys, that's going to do it for me here. I'll see you guys later on this week. But in the meantime, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and as always, keep it A+. Kiramager change!